In this video, you will find some information that's going to help you get your Digital Doodle app set up. Now, one reminder is you need to have your Canvas instructions open all the time. In Canvas instructions, there's a lot of details and things to read and understand. Also, this app is to create a basic digital doodle in which you have a canvas and you can change colors and you can doodle on the canvas. So I'm going to walk you through the steps right now. Make sure you click on 1.1, the computing revolution, and then we're going to skip over 1.1.1 and go down to 1.1.2. As we've talked about in class numerous times, this is where it's your time to be creative. Now, it's one thing to follow directions and make a basic app, but it's another thing to watch the video, follow the directions, and to make something really awesome and creative. Here's your instructions. Now, one thing to check out is the resources. There's usually some good, helpful PowerPoints or videos in here, and if it asks you to do anything with the source files, that's right here. There's another video that walks you through how to download and basically unzip and then upload. That's the source files. Let's go back to our assignment. Now on the assignment, I will let you work with a partner. One condition with that is you need to work as hard, if not harder, with your partner. It's not goof around time, it's not hangout time, it's not be giggly and silly about the app. It should be very focused work. If that's not the case, then I will ask you to work by yourself. Please read through all of this. One important part right here is the event handler. Now an event handler basically holds the program instructions or the events. So you have to be aware of what you're clicking on in order to see what it's going to do. I'm going to scroll down here. Please be very careful with the directions as far as reading through the directions. I'm going to skip over some of the directions here and get down to the main part of the app, but I do really want you to read through this. Now we've already done step number 2. Step number 1 is your choice, as I just said. Number 3, you'll be creating digital doodle in one of 2 ways. Now there's several ways to make it work. Make sure you understand the code. You can understand the code for both ways to make this app work. Now this first part here, you don't need to download the source files. It says download source files. You don't actually have to do that part. I would rather see you create it from scratch. So you're going to select start new projects. We're going to open up our app inventor. We're going to start new project. And I'm going to call this digital doodle. Remember, there's no spaces. And I'm just going to call it March, just so I can remember when I created this project. Now while that's creating and loading, I'm going to come right back here. Something really nice with this one in Canvas is it has a table right here for you. So what I would encourage you to do is read this very carefully. So a component is a tidy package of functionality. So basically it's a really small amount that can be functional, which allows your app to work in a certain way. For instance, component is your button. So I need to find a button. I'm going to drag a button over. I'm going to leave it the way it is for now until I figure out what that button is for. I need a canvas. So I'm going to go down to the drawing and animation. Here's my canvas. I'm going to plop the canvas in. And I need a camera. It has to access my device. It doesn't matter if it's your tablet, a phone, it doesn't matter what device you're using, you have to have access to this. Now this you'll see is a non-visible component. I still don't want to rename these until I know fully what they are. So here's what it is, designer drawer. So if I click on app inventor, it shows you the different drawers. So if it says user interface, that's the drawer you click on. The purpose, respond to being clicked. So I have a button that someone is going to push or click and it's going to respond to being clicked. Then I have to set the code up for that. And you can read through all these other parts here. Step number 6, select the button in your viewer components list, change the button's text property to take a picture. So I want to change the component and I'm going to say take a picture. So I'm going to click on component here and then I'm going to go down and it says take a picture. That changes to take a picture. I have freedom to put something else in there, but somebody has to know exactly what it does when they find my app. Take a picture. Switch to blocks view. I'm going to skip over part of that, so I would then come back here, click on blocks view. I have to create the code. There's a lot of people that will at this point connect and think the button works. Nothing works until you actually create the code. So there's the code right here. Switch to blocks view. You're going to find these buttons and you're going to figure out what they mean. So when I click this event handler here, it takes a picture. The next event handler is right here. It handles or holds the events or the commands. Next table is really nicely laid out. Here's which one you need, which you can see right here. It's in the camera drawer and it lets the user take a picture. Right here, here's an event handler. Event handler. It's telling you what it is. So please take the time to read through that. Step number 8, test your program by connecting the device. We've all done this numerous times. At this point, you then can connect. You can check it out to see what it looks like. Number 9, to be able to draw on your picture, create the following event handler. Again, this is your event handler right here. Try to figure out what these mean. Previous X, previous Y, current X, current Y. What is that meaning? Number 10, add one or more of these features to your app. You can adding a slider allows you to adjust the pen size. Great idea. Where would I find that? So here's where I'm looking. I need to add a label. So I'm going to come back over here, user interface. There's my label. What is the purpose of the label? Now here's a clue for some of you. When you connect to your device, if I were to put this below it, I might not be able to see this. So one common mistake is people put it down below. So I'm going to drag it right up here and I'm going to label it. Then I'm going to rename it over here and I might want to call this one picture or take a picture. So when I create the blocks, I know exactly what it does. Next one, horizontal arrangement. And a horizontal arrangement, if I go to layout, is right here. So I drag this over, I can put this up here. Okay, now when I connect, I can see, okay, I like that or I don't like it. It comes inside of this. Now I put my slider next to it and it's matched up. It's horizontally arranged. There's this code right here. This code is basically creating or allowing you to adjust the line width. Add buttons to change the color of the pen. So now you need 3 buttons for sure, a red, a green, a blue button. This is the code to make your blue button work. You all are smart people. You can figure out if I need this code for the blue. I also need this for green and red. You can right click, duplicate the code, and change the button color here. Coming down here, you can add an accelerometer sensor. When you shake it, it clears the canvas, it clears the screen. You save your work. Don't think that you're done at this point. This is now your point to be creative and customize and make your app the best it possibly can be. Again, keep your app connected at all times. Whatever I change here, I can see live updated and it changed. So if you have any other questions, you can rewatch the video if you need. You can always ask your partner, and best of luck creating your first app with the project Lead the Way.